I was very, very pleased when I read this particular one. It's so fun. I mean, that's really the big word for me with it. It's just an absolute enjoyable escape and really witty. So that was a pleasure. The idea of a movie coming to be shot in Downton Abbey was not something that I would have expected, and that is such a pleasure. It's just delightful to see the what is now a very old-fashioned movie making, but for the family, very newfangled people and culture invading their house, and so there's a lot of fun to be had there. It's such a privilege to live apart and live it next to somebody else for as long as we have done. I mean, we have grown along with our characters. I mean, most things I'd done professionally prior to Downton Abbey were movies or films, or films or plays, or short stories that had a beginning, middle, and end. So it was a completely different challenge to live with a character alongside somebody else for so long, and it's very rewarding. It's an incredible experience and a real privilege. Hugh has never let me down. Because what he's often given is really difficult stuff to pull off. I mean, Robert can be a little bit of an idiot at times, very stuffy at times, very much of a throwback, but in Hugh's hands, there's so much heart in it, always. So much, I hate this word, but lovability. And I don't think there are very many actors that could have pulled it off. Well, we're very lucky as a group. Either lucky or somebody was very clever when they put us together, because it's an amazing group of people. I mean, honestly, we all live for this, and most of the time it doesn't happen, where you just have a group they're all very different kind of talents, but they're all so disciplined. I mean, to do an ensemble show like this, you need to be, because it takes a lot of patience. You have to be a total star one minute and an extra the next, and you have to have a personality that can make peace with those two realities, and everybody in this cast can do that, and still be really fond of each other at the end of a day. And I don't think there are very many long-term series that you can say that about the cast. So it's been really one of the great privileges of my life. It's not only Maggie, it's everything she represents. I mean, she's a person who worked with Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh, and that's all in her being, and you can't fake that or act it. I don't think she's even herself aware of what it is she does that people love so much. We just, all of us, bask in that reflected glow of literally just surviving so many years of life experience and, frankly, show business. Well, it was incredibly refreshing. I mean, I suppose it's such an obvious thing, but it still kind of surprised me how much the different light affects things, the different smell in the atmosphere. And that's all a lot of fun, to see these characters in something that looks so exotic and different. It's just, I can't think of a better word than it's just fun. The costumes are, really exquisite. And it's just a joy to just stand there and have them be built on my frame, which is literally what happens. But Anna's sense of color and her sense of character as expressed by a costume is really much better than most costume designers. She doesn't just think about the clothes. She really thinks about the character and the note that character plays in the orchestra of the whole thing. She has a real overview and a real intelligent, insightful, and Nosh, who does the makeup and hair, is the same. You know, they really understand the story and the characters. I was just completely blown away by his skill and confidence and vision and how well he handled these actors. We've been doing it a long time, and it's not so easy to come in as a new person and suggest a way of doing things. And he always did it in a way that actors could hear and respect, and actually was incredibly helpful. And I think they absolutely loved him. And so I was just so proud. But I think it's changed over the years. I think when people first watched the show, it was a real escape and a comfort to go back to another era. I think now it's an escape and a comfort to go back to the era that we were in when we were watching the show and to remember what that felt like. So either way, it's escape and comfort and a feeling of security. I think that's what the show gives people. Everybody has missed having a place to go. We have now spent so long looking, a lot of the time, just on individual little screens, and a lot of the time for many hours of the day. And after a while, there's something psychologically very dry about that. So the only person I can really speak for is myself. I miss having a community experience where a group of people sit down and they have an experience together and they walk out and they've all been through more or less the same thing and then can talk about it. And boy, it feels good to get back to it. And I think, I hope that this will be something that they'll have an appetite for because of the fact that it's not bad news